STAKK Nation.
Champions.
Welcome back to a certain channel. A channel that is called STAKK, where we speak of the future of our economy on the blockchain. I kid. Receive message from. No, don't worry. 2024 is going to be a great year, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about regulations. This seems to be something that three-letter agencies are cranking up their pace, it seems. But are they cranking this pace in the right directions? We see that there's a lot of contradictions that are also happening as they push forward with these things. Wouldn't you say?
Yep, I don't think they are aligning. They seem to all be pushing in different directions, but we'll see what happens here.
They need more blockchain education
from us.
I was just going to say, interestingly, this is something that we provide. So if the SEC and all these other three-letter members are listening, we understand that you have some of the smartest people around.
From Harvard,
yes,
MIT.
Yes, absolutely. You know what I mean? However, it seems that your actions seem to indicate that there is still some gaps in your knowledge, if you will.
Full of bias, by the way.
Yeah. And you want it to be, directed to your benefit. However, I think we know that this is not what the blockchain space is about. But before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not following us yet on X, okay, please respect your mouse, respect your mobile device, and go ahead and hit that follow button on X there. Okay, we are over there on X. We are posting various things, as you can see, over 7,338 posts, man.
X got us paying for premium.
I mean, listen, man, I will pay for premium X, and this is why I'm happy with paying for premium X, because if somebody will go and buy a company above its value,
$44 billion,
for the sake of at least maintaining some sort of transparency in society.
Can I make up a word? Truthification?
What is truthification?
Truthification.
Truthification. There we go. Oxford. If you have not put that one in your book yet, coin it. Truthification. Because if people can redefine terms, I mean,
of course, that's why
we can also create terms, right?
Exactly.
And if you really look at it, our level of linguistic prowess is one that you have never seen before. We have invented multiple words on this. I forgot one of the words that I invented back in the days too. In fact, brazen. Find another person named brazen.
None.
Yeah.
One and only.
So truthification.
Yeah, truthification.
Truthification.
Yeah.
The act of fighting censorship.
Yeah.
Taking control of a platform or what would you say?
Finding the truth.
A situation.
Ensuring that the truth gets out there.
Exactly. To ensure the truth is out there. So please follow us on X so that truthification can be part of your 2024 journey. Right? Now, let's jump over to what we'll be talking about.
The truth about this Bitcoin ETF.
Yes, the truth about Bitcoin ETF.
And regulations around it.
Oh, Lord. Obviously, if you have not been living under the rock, which we are sure you are not, you've probably heard that the SEC, the SEC is working on approving a Bitcoin ETF.
A spot Bitcoin ETF.
Spot Bitcoin ETF,
yeah.
Right? And we're going to talk about regulations. So, double look, what are we talking about regulations here? Before we do that, let me just read this one paragraph here, so that the people can be up to speed, aligned as we engage in this conversation here.
Yo.
So, you see, crypto regulation refers to the legal norms and directives implemented by governments worldwide to supervise the rapidly growing crypto sector. These regulations aim to protect investors and prevent illicit activities. However, such regulatory measures contradict the initial libertarian ethos of cryptocurrencies, which sought to create a decentralized environment free from government control.
Repeat that. Free from
government control.
control.
Now, The interesting thing is, while some nations warmly welcome these crypto innovations, this is something that was spoken about extensively on the show here, right? We have others that are enforcing stringent bans, as the article mentions here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can take it from here, double up.
Let's go.
What is happening with this Bitcoin ETF situation then?
Well, apparently, spot Bitcoin ETF is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, at least we believe it's going to come out. We are waiting for January 10th, which is this Wednesday.
Oh, is that the day now?
Well, that's apparently ARK Invest was supposed to get that approved, but the conversation now is that instead of letting just one banker, well, I don't want to call him a banker, fund manager to get approved, they might as well have opened the floodgates and approve everybody else. But how do you approve a spot Bitcoin ETF when we still don't have or still uncertain about what the regulations are?
That is a very, very, very good question. It's the same thing with the taxes too, right? And we're going to dive into that one down the line here.
Yes. Now let's remember, Bitcoin was invented as a technology innovation to take money away from the hands of government control.
Yes.
So now we have a technology that actually solves the major problem, protect investors,
Exactly.
protects you and I from the government's misuse of money or currency. But now the same people that have created the problem now wants to be the one to say that they are protecting you from the problem that they have created.
Yes.
And create
Solutions.
regulations.
Exactly.
People, are you seeing the truthification going on here, or am I just running my mouth? Let me know.
I mean, this is the outcome that is unfolding before our eye. I think one of the other, and I think it really is really along the same lines. It seems to be that at the same time, by introducing or moving forward with, these instruments that they are moving forward with right now, without the regulations in place first, it allows the free movement. It allows the ability for these same groups, right? Let's say the elite groups, to engage in these markets in a way that is maybe will not be considered favorable to the regulations.
Illicitly?
Right? Exactly, right? So let me explain just to clarify what I'm saying there. I'll give you a different analogy, right? This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to do this. Imagine that we have built a new road, right? And this road is maybe going through your neighborhood.
Yep.
You could assume that, well, given that this road is here in the neighborhood, we know that in most residential areas, maybe the speed limit would generally be 35, right? 35, or if you're in Texas, 40. And you might be like, okay, I can see this is reasonable. It's going through the neighborhood. Yeah, it's probably going to be 40 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour. We're waiting for the speed limit sign. But every day the police drives down that road, they're doing 110 through your neighborhood.
They do,
right? But then if they see you doing 110, they pull you over and give you a ticket, enforcing the law on something that has not been regulated yet, right? And so after they have accomplished their mission of maybe
giving you a ticket,
indirectly
taxing you,
exactly taxing you, driving down the same streets at outrageous speeds, right? Parking their cars on those streets as well, even though maybe it's a street that you should not park your cars on. Then they are now set up. This situation is advantageous to them, and now we're going to introduce regulations to say you cannot do more than 35 miles per hour here, even though we've been doing it all here. You cannot park your car here, even though we have drawn in parking spaces for these specific cars that we have parked here. So everything that happens from then on, they always have the advantage. If these people are working to position themselves in the Bitcoin space, in the crypto space, in such a way that is beneficial to them for the rest of time, it would make sense then that they would be doing some of these enforcement actions and then apply regulations once they are all in and properly positioned for this. I'll give you an example of this situation. We see a group like Binance, right? This Bitcoin ETF seems that it could have not moved forward. It was not going to be moving forward as long as Binance had this free roam out there. Because guess who has a shit ton of Bitcoin
CZ.
and will probably move the Bitcoin ETF market as they wish.
CZ.
Okay.
U.S. government, though.
Right. I mean, still, but US government is like, we all know. But CZ is an individual in another country, right? And he could move the US Bitcoin ETF market if he wanted to. So I think that is another example where now he's been removed.
Targeting, huh?
And it's now conveniently, we can now proceed with the Bitcoin approval situation.
Actually, if we can add to that, why does external private organization get involved in the documentation or the creation of the of the regulations? The same banks that have been getting fined by their bodies in the U.S. government for abusing the same regulation, the money regulations, right? HSB, Wells Fargo, indiscriminately moving money across borders, breaking those rules, are the same guys that are now helping the government to write the regulations in the space that competes with that. How do you get World Economic Forum involved in this? How do you get banks involved in something that is trying to get us away from those same people that are creating the problem?
Exactly. I agree. These are the things that people need to think about carefully every day. You really have to consider what is it you're doing. Because it seems to me that we're sort of in this place in society where people are just in autopilot. This is what we're supposed to do. It's no different from the, go to school, get a degree, get a job thing, save for retirement, and work.
Don't jump to the retirement yet.
What is that?
Finish school, get a job, get married, right? Maybe $120K in marriage fees.
Exactly.
Maybe almost $250,000 in school debts.
Exactly.
Buy a car, maybe $75K, and then of course constant increase in taxes. You just live in debt, and you're supposed to be saving for retirement.
Exactly.
That might not be there when you retire. Come on, man, a living slave.
And a lot of people are just going through life, just going through those motions, and they're not asking where is this ship heading?
When does it end?
Yes, they don't even. I mean, most people don't even understand it. They're just going along with the flow because it is widely known that this is what you're supposed to do: work, save, retire, pay bills. Exactly, retire, and then that is it, right? So, I think it is definitely something that everyone might want to definitely consider and change their mindset on.
There's more to life than just working and paying bills. Take your Bitcoin across borders, experience other countries, live your life, enjoy, breathe oxygen.
Yeah, exactly. Now, at the beginning here, we also spoke about this idea that, cryptocurrencies, as they want to refer to it here, this regulation thing goes against the ethos of cryptocurrencies, which sought to create a decentralized environment free of government control. When you look at something like Bitcoin, I think it is Bitcoin is still achieving these goals. Okay, you can send Bitcoin to anyone anywhere. You can self-custody your own Bitcoin, which takes it out of government control, right? But when you start engaging in an ETF, right, an ETF is not, it's no longer
sovereign.
It's not sovereign. It's right there under government control. It is not decentralized, and it is definitely violating this ethos of what cryptocurrency is supposed to be about. This is why I referred to this Bitcoin ETF previously as a scam. Okay, I understand that it's a scam that might drive the price, but understand that it's still a scam.
It's a Trojan, but they will find out.
Yes, it might drive the price up, but understand that it also means that this same group of people have the ability to drive the price down. You know where this puts you? This puts you back in the same situation that you're in right now, where what's the guy, the Federal Reserve guy, is able to increase these interest rates,
JB,
right, and pull down these interest rates, and it affects your wallets. So if we find ourselves in a situation where there's this Bitcoin ETF, and these people have printed tens of thousands, or maybe it's actually your money that they're taking from your retirement fund.
Fiat. to buy
Exactly.
Bitcoin.
Then you would see now that these people who are also traders, right, will now have the ability to dump on the markets when they can,
Yeah,
right, and
put
vice versa.
put some Aladdin magic on your ass.
Exactly. All the while, all the while, you can buy the Bitcoin yourself. You can self custody it, and this would still be accomplishing or meeting the requirements of that ethos from the beginning.
Allow me to be the devil's advocate for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right, man. Bring on the spot Bitcoin ETF.
Right.
I just want to believe that it's gonna be one fund manager out there that is just gonna go nuts and say, okay, yeah, I want to trade this. I'm about to take this money and invest in Bitcoin solutions. And then once those solutions start kicking butts of Microsoft and Google, the rest of them will follow. Remember, major investors follow each other.
Yeah.
This is when the Trojan now kicks in.
Well, here's where I kind of start running into a roadblock with
With that thought process.
approach, right?
Yeah.
Do we need to fix Microsoft?
It's broken. It's using out there to make money.
Yes, but we can work on. I don't think that is Microsoft that is the application that is broken, but I think it is the business model,
Yeah.
right? We can have conversations about, hey, Microsoft, we need you to pay us,
Yep.
right? In order to use our data in this way. I think that that is something that we can bring that up in conversation, start maybe talking about that with rule makers,
Yep.
right, with regulators, so that, hey, we can get to a point where all these companies who are collecting our data
making a ton of
can
money
just
for.
pay us for it.
Yeah.
I think that is a much more efficient way and a way to prove that our system works, if it does work, versus trying to configure a whole new Microsoft set of suits built on Bitcoin with lead years of unreliability
Yeah.
just to get to a point where we are at the same point that Microsoft is. It is a long way around for something that does not need to be that way, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Tells you that regulations actually doesn't work. I mean, right now, it
Yeah,
doesn't
right
work.
now it's definitely not working because they're all focused on different things, right?
Yeah.
And listen, at that point in time, you could integrate something like Bitcoin into Microsoft applications. You can integrate Bitcoin into Facebook, X. I mean, we see X, right, doing it where you can publish some stuff and you can get tips.
Rewarded back.
If they're collecting information, they could also just be giving you tips once you select the option for your information to be tracked, right? There should be a way for you to just be getting paid there. Those are solutions that I think that we can integrate and use Bitcoin with our current existing systems to just move on with our lives. This is, I don't want to keep going on a rant, but this is where I think, with the crypto space, where there's a lot of enthusiastic people who want to build a lot of applications and such. But I don't think that our problem is
Those applications.
the Microsoft application or the Facebook application or which other application you want to, insert there. The problem is the money and the government control of the money and the big corporation manipulation and control of the government as well.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I still think that is, if we change that part, they say root cause, right? If you change the root cause problem, then it transforms the way a bunch of other things would work in that situation. If you plant the tree in fertile soil, naturally you see that everything about the tree is healthy.
Yep.
But if you plant it in a desert, you can keep watering it. Maybe it would grow, but you would find that it would just not be
as LD and constantly facing challenges.
Exactly. But that's my take on that. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, you've said it best. For you to just even be in the current space, it's already on LD. So expecting something great out of an already bad experience is just, I mean,
I think they should leave the space unregulated. Keep it Wild West. let everyone figure it out for themselves. Yeah, but that's definitely an interesting one. Now, with this Bitcoin ETF, which is supposed to be coming up here, and the regulations that are going to be around it, right? We have seen that some other countries I think Australia has a Bitcoin ETF, don't they?
There are countries that already have Bitcoin ETFs. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 countries that have spot Bitcoin ETFs, which American media doesn't talk about. But I just think the reality with those ETFs is that some of the regulations, which we're starting to see in America, is trying to prevent ownership, like your private wallets, or controlling the amount of transactions, which we're seeing now with the FINRA. $10,000 transactions that ever happen on the exchange must be reported.
Right.
So we're starting to see those regulations scream into the American regulations as well. And I just think the banks have something to do with this. But the banks get to still move bigger amounts of money. It's just that your retail investors that they are supposed to be protecting are going to be facing these extreme limitations.
Absolutely. Before we wrap this up, if you don't take anything from this video, I just want to point this out. And you mentioned this earlier in the show, Double Up.
Yep.
If we look at this second paragraph here of this little write-up, it says, while some nations warmly welcome crypto innovations, others enforce stringent bans. Right? It says, read here for all cryptocurrency regulation news and latest updates, blah, blah, blah. It goes on there. It says they cover all of these various things. And they track how different nations modify rules or how institutions like the World Economic Forum guide global crypto norms. I'm still wondering, and I've never been able to find an answer. Who appointed World Economic Forum to guide any crypto norms or regulations and such?
Who appointed them to guide anything?
Yes.
This are
because if they can do that, then we can do that too.
I mean, but that's the problem with retail investors, though. Wall Street Bets kind of gives me a good memory to that. Just like we have the Bitcoin maxis fighting the entire industry, instead of coming together and doing stupid shit like World Economic Forum, like there are unappointed people leading the entire world. Why can't you guys that came up with a solution to get us away from them work together for once?
Absolutely. It would be nice to collaborate on those things for sure. But just remember, you are a free human being.
Yep.
And it is time for you to take control of your own value in your hands. Anything else you want to add to this one, Zach?
That's what we do here, man. If you have not liked and subscribed, just go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button right now. We do more about this kind of conversations and just get you to see the truthification of what's going on in the space.
STAKK is the headquarters of truthification. Okay, Elon is our employee. Now, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends. We are also on X as STAKK and Spotify as STAKK. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, praise and out.
Double O.